Believe it or not, your next iPhone could be fully waterproof, and yes, that includes salt water. And if you think I'm absolutely crazy and nuts, I'm gonna prove it to you in this video, and it all starts with this patent right here. Apple refines their invention that will one day allow snorkelers and divers to take photos and videos with iPhone in underwater mode. And yes, that implies saltwater, because who goes snorkeling in freshwater? Nobody. Yes, it's saltwater. That means the ocean. Now, if you look at this image right here, you can see somebody recording with their iPhone with a couple of simple buttons, and they have underwater mode turned on with their depth being 2.7 meters under the water. Here in Apple's patent, it says that an electronic device could be configured to determine when it is currently exposed to a moisture event. In some examples, it could range from a small amount of liquid all the way to being completely submerged within a liquid, with a couple of images here showing a dry mode above land, a wet mode where it's wet but not fully submerged, and then an actual underwater mode. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, it should, because Apple recently revealed their Apple Watch Ultra, which actually has an underwater mode where it's meant for divers going deep underwater, as you can see in Apple's own promotional video. And as you can see, people actually tested it out right here on YouTube, showing that as soon as you go underwater, the underwater mode turns on, and they are using it, showing it with all the depth data and everything else. And it's awesome because the way that Apple makes it work is that as soon as you submerge your Apple Watch Ultra, the depth app begins your dive. And right here in this iPhone patent, it says that an iPhone could determine that it's exposed to a moisture event, in example, submerged underwater. Now, if you didn't already know, the Apple Watch Ultra has a new depth gauge, which provides real-time measurement of underwater depth down to 40 meters, along with water temperature readings. And I believe that that is going to be coming to the iPhone very soon. And I also fully believe that this waterproof iPhone is going to come with the same EN 13319 certification that the Apple Watch Ultra already has, and that is going to be very important. And if you think about it, the Apple Watch Ultra already has 100 meters of water resistance, which comes out to 328 feet. Now, I don't know if the future iPhone is going to be coming with that level of waterproofing, but it would be absolutely insane if it happens. So now, let me give you the evidence for why I believe that the waterproof iPhone is gonna be coming. But before I get into the actual evidence of how Apple is gonna expand their iPhone's waterproofing, let me first show you how you can expand your living room experience with our partner Lytmi's new Fantasy Plus kit, which extends the colors and action beyond just the screen. This works great for music and movies since it supports Dolby Vision and HDR10+, as well as for gaming with support for 4K 60, where many similar priced competitors can only do 1080p. The full kit price is incredible at $299, whereas a matching Q Sync kit that supports the same formats comes in at over $900. It's also incredibly easy to set up. You just peel and stick the light strip around your TV and then download the app to sync it up. They have multiple modes and options so you can use the app and customize however you like best, and it's voice compatible with Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, and SmartThings. And even better, Lytmi is giving the biggest discount of the year, 20% off on all Lytmi products for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so check the link in the description below to stay tuned. Now, getting back to the evidence of the waterproof iPhone, the first piece of the puzzle, the first step that Apple has already made with their new iPhone 14 series is, of course, removing the SIM card tray on all iPhone 14 models in the US. I believe that is the first step because having that physical SIM card tray allows water to seep in, especially salt water. And now the next step actually was revealed by the leaker Ming-Chi Kuo with his latest survey indicating that the volume button and power button of the two high-end iPhone 15 models will be adapting solid state button designs, which is similar to the old home button where it switched from a physical mechanical design to a solid state where it's actually not moving, there's no crack, nothing, there's just a taptic engine basically behind it that feels like a click, just like this trackpad on this MacBook Pro. So instead of having just one main taptic engine, there will be 3 taptic engines, a new one for the volume buttons and a new one for the power button, and that's going to be the second step towards going with a new waterproof iPhone design, because there will no longer be cracks, there's no way for water to seep into there. So basically now, next year we're gonna have iPhones with no physical SIM card tray and no physical buttons at all. The only thing left is going to be the port, because as Ming-Chi Kuo also recently said just a couple of days ago, all of next year's iPhones will ditch the Lightning port and switch over to USB Type-C, whether that's going to be Thunderbolt or regular Lightning 2.0. It doesn't matter. The fact is we are still going to have a USB-C port next year, which causes an issue for the waterproof iPhone situation. Now, what Apple's been doing for the last few years is updating their iPhones in a certain tick cycle, where one year you'll get a full redesign, the next year you'll get some big feature changes, maybe some battery life or something else, and then the third year, for example, they could focus on a huge camera update. And now next year we are expecting another full redesign for the iPhone 15 lineup, including the 15 Pro, which will include a new design, potentially with a slab of glass on the front and the back, and USB Type-C like Ming-Chi Kuo was saying. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Mark Gurman, the most reliable Apple leaker, says that Apple's move to USB-C is just a stopgap until its wireless future. Now, if you don't know what he's talking about, check this out. Within his Bloomberg article, here's what he said. He said at some point in the next few years, Apple will probably begin transitioning entirely to inductive charging on the iPhone and iPad, matching the Apple Watch. The EU says that smartwatches are exempt from its new law, as are devices that don't charge over a wired connection. So I'd bet, Mark Gurman would bet, that inductive charging and Apple's wireless future is an effective workaround. So essentially, Apple can get around those EU laws by going fully wireless, which means no ports at all, a portless iPhone. And guess what happened back in 2019? Ming-Chi Kuo reported that Apple was working on a completely wireless iPhone, completely portless, but of course that got delayed, but I think it is coming with the next redesign cycle. Yes, my personal prediction that I've already posted to Twitter is that the 2026 portless iPhone will be the first smartphone ever that will be fully waterproof, even salt water. How? No ports. Yes, because there's no SIM card tray, no physical buttons, and no port, which means it's going to be essentially fully sealed, just like the Apple Watch. Because if you think about it, the Apple Watch has a speaker, the Apple Watch has a microphone, and that's essentially all that will be exposed on the iPhone if they get rid of that final port. So with that said, it's gonna be pretty easy for Apple at that point to make the iPhone finally waterproof, including salt water, just like the Apple Watch Ultra that can go down 40 meters diving depth in salt water, which is absolutely insane. And I think that this patent that I showed you guys points to that happening, and I think it's happening in 2026. Now you might be asking, well, how the heck are we supposed to transfer our data using a wired cable for backups or whatever else? Well, there is this extra patent that I've shown you guys many months ago, a couple of times on our videos, but you may have forgotten. Check this out. This patent is dated March 30th, 2017, and guess what it shows? Apple invents a wireless charging system that puts equal emphasis on wireless data transfers. And guess what that wireless charging system is? Well, if you look closely, you have magnets for alignment, you have an inductive ring. It's basically MagSafe. Yes, the wireless charging MagSafe puck that we already have is pointing to this patent. Look, you can see right here, a cable, a data puck. Yes, that's MagSafe. But if you look closely at this patent, you can see second optical data transfer module, first optical data transfer module. Essentially, on the inside of the iPhone, you can see right here, this is the iPhone in blue, this is the back of the iPhone, there is a glass window, and inside of the MagSafe puck, there's essentially a new data transfer module that uses optical light to transfer the data. And yes, that light is probably gonna be ultraviolet, which means that it can go through paint, so you're not even gonna see a window there. It's gonna go through paint and it's gonna transfer the data, and all Apple is gonna have to do is make a second version of that wireless charging MagSafe puck, now supporting data transfer, and that's how easy it's gonna be for Apple to go fully wireless and fully portless. Now, if that blew your mind, go ahead and hit the like button, comment down below. That's the reason why I think a fully waterproof iPhone is gonna be coming in 2026. So hopefully you enjoyed that video, and if you did, click the circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one. Check out one of those two right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.